All right. Hey, good morning to you. Happy Monday. I hope you're already off to a great start. I'm excited to be sharing with you today. It is January 9th. We are officially 9 days in to our 31-day devotional, the Good Shepherd devotional found on the YouVersion app. And so I just want to celebrate all of you that have been so diligent to get up every morning and Saturday, Sunday, even on the weekends, digging in with us. And I know this has been important to your heart. We've been getting amazing responses from those that have been studying these devotionals, getting in a good regiment. And hey, I'm actually loving it, man. I'm having a ball. And so I want to encourage you, stick with us every day. Stick with us every day. Also, if you have not downloaded the Good Shepherd YouVersion Bible app, please do so. It's tons of other great resources in there, other great devotionals. You can search any particular topic that you want to build your faith concerning. It's also it's a great way to start your day and get in a regimen of spending daily interaction time with your shepherd. See, the strength, I keep going back to this, the strength of the shepherd relationship comes from closeness, commitment, and closeness, commitment, and connection. And so the more time you spend engaging the Father, the more you become aware of His ways, the more you become aware of His voice, the more you become aware of His presence. And so that's really the goal, not just to say, hey, we read, but this is helping us draw closer to Jesus as our good shepherd, be more confident in his presence, confident in His power, confident in His plans for our lives, confident in His promises, and the confidence in His people. That's big. A confidence in His people, because part of what makes this so powerful is we're walking through this together. Because not only is the Lord your shepherd, He's our shepherd. Oh my God, He's our shepherd. And so we all have the opportunity to share stories, testimonies, revelations that we've gotten from our shepherd, because the same level of care He has for me is the same level of care He has for you. Why is it so important? Because all throughout His shepherding, He's always gaining new sheep. My God. Share it, tag it. Really want you to get this. Thank y'all for tuning in. Jesus says, I'm the good shepherd, right? He says, and there are other sheep that are not of this fold. I have other sheep that are not of this fold. I have other sheep that are not of this fold. Meaning, watch now, there are other sheep that you're going to come into contact with that I'm concerned about, right? Well, one of the most influential ways to learn how a sheep functions in relation to the shepherd is by modeling other sheep. This is so powerful. There's a story of two gorillas, a case study done, and two gorillas were placed in a cage. They would drop bananas down. They go for the bananas. Well, one day they decided to, whenever the gorillas would reach for the bananas, they would spray them with fire hoses, right? Spray them with water. Knock them off. Well, after so much time, they stopped reaching for, even though they would drop the bananas, they would not reach for them because they did not want to be sprayed by hoses. If one gorilla would reach, they would spray them both, right? If they both reach, they spray them both. So if any gorilla moved, both would get sprayed. At one point, they took out one of the gorillas that had been sprayed and replaced him with another gorilla that had never been sprayed. When they dropped the bananas down, the gorilla that had never been sprayed began to reach for the bananas. The gorilla that had been sprayed overtook him and pinned him down. Why? Because he knew what you do affects me. And he eventually taught out of pressure and force. He taught the gorilla that had never been sprayed to ignore the dropped bananas because you didn't want the pain that came along with it. What am I trying to tell you? That you and I have the opportunity to either build a resistance or build a reverence for what God drops in front of us. As new gorillas, new sheep, new believers, new partners come into the environment that we've learned, we show them by our actions how we should respond in this setting. And so we're not with the contrast. We're not intimidating. We're not pressuring people. Don't reach. No, we tell them, listen, when that drops, you put your hands up. When he speaks, you turn your ear. When he shows you provision, you become generous. When he says do, you do. When he says don't, you don't. When he says pray, you pray. We're modeling for the sheep that are new to the sheepfold how we function with the shepherd. I hope you're getting this. This is, if Brandon Holt is on, if Gay Klein is on, they about to say that was heat. Yes, that's heat. Because we model, oh my God, as parents, as new believers, as disciplers, as mentors, we are showing others how to function with our shepherd. This is so powerful. Pamela Wiley, good morning. Keisha Keenan, good morning. Miss Nina, good morning. I hope y'all are getting this, man. We're teaching others how to relate to the shepherd that loves them. That's what we do. And so that's why it's so important for you sharing these videos, tagging individuals, because you're teaching them how to handle having Jesus at the head of your life and the benefit. Oh my God. Yeah, yes. He sprays us down with favor, sprays us down with miracles, sprays us down with grace, sprays us down with love, sprays us down with partners. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And he wants to do it for others. And you and I got to move. You and I are the catalyst for seeing these other sheep learn his commitment, learn his closeness, learn how to stay connected. Listen, today's devotional day now is absolutely powerful. I only have a couple nuggets that I want to share. The writer talks about the disciples in the midst of the storm, and Jesus says, "Go to the other side." They begin to go, and as normal, storms pop up. We talked about it yesterday in service. There is rarely growth without a giant, and so the storm begins to rage, winds blowing, waves crashing, and they call out to their shepherd, Jesus. They wake him up. He's at the hinder of the boat, asleep on a pillow. And they wake him up and he says, "Don't you care that we perish?" Jesus gets up, rebukes the wind. The waves begin to calm. He says, "Peace be unto you." And then he tells the disciples, "Where was your faith?" This is so loaded. I can't tell you everything that's in the devotional. That's why we give you the link so that you can study for yourself. But several things I think are critical to understand. Number one, the shepherd doesn't disappear when you're in your storm. Oh my God. The shepherd doesn't disappear when you come face to face with your storm. Remember the three Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? They're thrown into the fire furnace. And once Nebuchadnezzar throws them in, and he tells them, "If you don't bow down to me, I'm going to throw you in." They said, "Well, hey, throw me in, Doc. Hey, throw me, Doc. What you waiting on?" You know, he throw them in. This is loaded. They say, "We're not going to bow down to you. If you throw us in, we're not going to bow." Then he says, "If you throw us in, our God's going to save us. And if not, we still not gonna bow." They're not saying, "What if God don't save us?" They saying, "Even if you don't throw us in, we still not gonna bow down to you." He throws them in, and the Bible says he looks and says, "Didn't I throw 3 guys in that were bound up in chains? I see 4 men walking around free, and the 4th is like the Son of God." What am I trying to tell you? That Jesus does not disappear when you're in your storm. He's in the storm with you. I'm talking to somebody who's in a financial storm, family storm, faith storm, and the challenge to hold on to is, I'm not alone. God is with me. God is for me. God is able. I need to put that on a t-shirt. I hope Jeremy Jones, Marquita Jones, I need that on a t-shirt. God is with me. God is for me. And God is able. Why? He's with me in this storm. He's for me while I'm in it. And he's able to shut it down at a moment's notice. God Almighty. Yes, he is. Listen. The shepherd doesn't disappear in a storm. Number two, the shepherd sees the storm before the sheep. Jesus already knew the storm was coming. He's omnipotent. He knows all things. And the Bible even says that as a good shepherd, he goes before the sheep. He leads us beside still waters. He leads us so he sees it and faces it before we do. Number three, so loaded. Jesus did not calm the storm to keep the disciples from drowning, because he already told them, go to the other side. If he's already said, go to the other side, he has plans for them on the other side. He didn't calm the storm to keep them from drowning. He calmed the storm to eliminate their fear. That is so powerful. I got to close. His goal was to eliminate the fear of what they faced. Because, watch now, here is crazy. He calmed the storm till he says, where's your faith? Why are you so fearful? Right? He did not rebuke the storm so that they wouldn't drown. They couldn't drown. He told them go to the other side. He already had plans for them. The issue is, are you going to operate in faith while you're on the journey? Are you going to be in fear while you're on the path? I want you to get rid of the fear. Because the storms are going to come. There's going to be another storm. But listen, new storms are inevitable. Fear is optional. Storms are inevitable. Fear is optional. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He make me lie down in green pastures. He restores my soul. Right? He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. Storms are inevitable. Fears are optional. Listen, one of the great nuggets, I'm almost done. One of the great nuggets, I hope you're getting something from this today. I hope it's just touching your heart. The writer says, imagine having such complete faith in God that you not only know he can resolve whatever circumstances you face, but also trust him when it feels like he's doing nothing about them. Lord have mercy. Imagine having the kind of faith that knowing that God can do anything. He can answer and resolve any situation I have. But also, I'm fully trusting when it appears that you're doing nothing. So loaded. Because they had faith in Jesus when he said, start going. They lost their faith when it looked like he was doing nothing. Don't you care that we perish? Don't you see these bills stacking up? Don't you see this marriage going crazy? Don't you see this child going wild? And he says, yes, I see it. But can you trust me in the middle of it like you trusted me before it? Can you still have full trust in me when it appears I'm doing nothing about your storm? Oh my God, the storm came. He did nothing. They began to doubt him. Can you believe me when it looks like I'm not behaving as you desire? I hope you're getting this. I hope you're getting this. There are three reasons why God may appear to be absent. Sometimes we would consider negligent or not on time. They did that with Lazarus. Mary and Martha called, said, the one that you love is dead, is sick. He didn't come at the right time. He said, no, he didn't come at the time they thought, because he said, I want to do something better. Listen. Three reasons. There are more, but there's three reasons that come to my heart this morning of why it appears that God may not be doing anything about our adversity. Number one is because I can endure it. I can endure it. I can endure it. There's some things we think we can't handle that we can. And what it does is it strengthens us. Listen, y'all know I go to the gym, try to go to the gym fairly often. And one of the things I do most is weight training, lifting weights. And I understand that the only way I get stronger and build more muscle is by applying more pressure to my body, because I want to get stronger. The same way there is only a certain level of faith that you can employ, that you can grow to, unless you put pressure to make it work. I learned faith by sticking in it, not just by walking out of it. And so there are things that you think you can endure. You can. You can. I can't handle no more. Yes, you can. He knows you can. And he's going to show you how strong you are. Oh, my God. You don't know how strong you are until you got to lift something or hold something. He's letting you know you're stronger than you think you are. I'm letting you. God wants to let you know that you're stronger than you think you are. Number two, sometimes God does not eliminate things or do anything about things because, number one, I can endure, but number two, I can alleviate it. God is not obligated to move storms that are under my control. He tells Mary and Martha the same illustration I just mentioned. He tells Mary and Martha, you move the stone. You roll the stone away. And so Jesus was ready to release resurrection, but they had to remove the blockade. They had to remove the restriction. So there are some conversations I need to have. There are some adjustments I need to make. And so, God, why aren't you moving? Because you're not moving. I'm not going to move that. God, why aren't you moving? Because I'm not going to move that. You're not moving. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to move that. I'll move this, but I'm not going to move that. And I may not move this until you move that. Because had Jesus raised Lazarus to resurrection before they moved the stone, he'd have run into the stone trying to get out. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, I need to say this. There may be some things that you are reticent to respond to because you don't want to. You want somebody else to do it. Nope. It's in your boat. It's under your watch. You can handle it, and you must address it. Number three, one of the reasons that it may appear that God doesn't do things is I can use it to my advantage. Years ago, I talk a lot because everybody knows we had a ton of financial trouble years ago, early on, my wife and I. And I just prayed, God, give me $1 million. God, give me this money, and I'll be straight. Well, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. What he did is he taught me money management skills. He taught me to be a better steward. He taught me discipline. He taught me saving, taught me investment, taught me credit management. Why? Because he could have just given me the money. But no, he didn't do that because there was something in the lesson that I would be able to use to my advantage. And so the same money management principles that I use in my personal life, I use in my ministry life, I use in my business life, I use to coach and mentor others, and I use in other people's lives. And so there's some things that he may not listen. There's some things that you want him to fix. No, he says, no, you can use that. No. You're going to gain some tools that you can use at another level. So learn while you're in it. Why? He says, no, I told you how to rebuke stuff. I told you how to walk on water. And so, no, I didn't want to move the storm because I wanted you to use this for your advantage. And so I'm praying for you today that you just settle in to know God is with me, God is for me, and God is able. And that no matter what storm you're in, you stand strong knowing that the God that I serve, the shepherd that I have, he's not going to my storm. He's with me. And I can endure it. I can alleviate it. That's something that I'm going to be used to my advantage. Hey, God bless you, man. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Can't wait to see you tomorrow and every day through the month of January. Right here, 7 a.m. on the prayer call, on YouTube, on Facebook. And, we'd love to see you in service on this coming Sunday. We've been in an incredible series, Defeating the Enemies to the Good Life. And that's part of God's plan for your life. A good, better life than you have right now. I'd love to see you. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Before you log off, share this video, tag 3 people.